All right. Well, Victoria's here, you guys. We are so excited. Victoria, I'm so excited about this. And I know you have a lot of obstacles going on right now with your children. So I really appreciate you showing up and doing this. So I'm just gonna let you take it away. I'm gonna grab my pen and paper and take some notes. So here you go.
Yay! Okay, yeah, this is gonna I'm hoping that this is not gonna be super all over the place. Can you hear me? Just give me a thumbs up, Michelle, if we're okay, awesome. Because I have no idea if I'm connected to car audio or where I don't know. I could hardly hear you talk, but as long as y'all can hear me, we're good. So yeah, sorry, today has been so chaotic. I forgot that there's no school today. So it's one of those days, but y'all know if you are a parent and you have littles and how chaotic things can be. But we make things happen. So for those of you that don't know me, hello, I'm Victoria, and I have been doing IPS for the last 5 months. I guess, yeah, like 5.5 months now, not even half. But I want y'all to know a little bit of my backstory, okay? Because I want to do exactly how I have grown to where I am now. And I want to be totally real with y'all about this because the truth is that so many people see where we're at, okay? They see your current success, but they don't see how you got there. I cannot even tell you how many times I've gotten messages from people saying, well, how can I make a post if I don't have any income to show? Or like where do I start? Or well, you have so much confidence and you're so comfortable and you guys have no idea where I started. So I'm gonna rewind things a little bit and be a little raw and vulnerable, but I also want y'all to know I'm not a sugarcoat Sally. I say it all the time. So I'm gonna be brutally honest about some things. And I'm just gonna tell it like it is. So I hope y'all are ready. But my backstory, you guys, when I going all the way back to when I was growing up, I was bullied a lot for appearance, for um like how I looked, certain things like my moles. I have a lot of moles, my nose, my eyes were too big, my teeth, whatever.
Burger, things like that. Okay. So my self-esteem and
Okay,
my
Victoria,
confidence
Victoria,
prior to any kind of online business was like zero. So
Victoria,
yes.
your car just picked up your,
Oh, I can't hear you at all.
yeah. Um, Your
Yes.
car just picked up your phone. Here, I'm gonna put it in the chat.
I can't hear you.
Hang on.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
there you
Hello?
are.
Is that better?
Yes.
I
Yes.
could not even hear what you're saying. And for some reason, like could you hear everything I was saying?
Yes, until a minute. It just I stopped you when I couldn't hear you. So you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Shoot. Yeah, you guys, I had turned on Bluetooth because I thought it would be better for the car because I'm in my driveway. I thought, I don't know, Wi-Fi, whatever. All right, I turned off Wi-Fi and I think I turned off the car. I don't know. So what was the last thing you heard?
Oh, we heard everything.
Okay.
You
Back
just
to like
you
the being
just
bullied and
it
stuff.
connected to your car and you just went like you sound like you're in a tunnel, but I caught it before yeah, we heard everything. You're good.
Gotcha. Okay. Anyway, so all of that to say, like my self-esteem was always at zero prior to starting any kind of online business. So even when I went into starting not digital marketing, network marketing, when I was doing my MLM, I was hesitant to even do that, especially because I didn't even wear that was with a makeup company. Okay. I didn't even have experience with makeup. I only wore mascara at that point. And so, I mean, the girl that I joined under, I mean, she, like, her makeup was like flawless. Okay. And initially, I just wanted to start just to try to make some money from home. Y'all, when I tell you, like when I got my kit and I started dabbling with blush, I looked like a freaking clown because I didn't even know how to put that on my face. And the very first time I did a live, I was y'all, I was the quiet person. You don't see this now. You see like loud and fiery and passionate. That's what you see now. But I was so quiet. And when I was doing lives, I was so awkward. I was the person, this was me. I would press the live button and I'd say, all right, you guys, I'm going to wait for people to hop on. Oh, Susie's here. Hi, Susie. I'm going to wait and see if more people will join. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started, and this is how I do my mascara. I was so awkward. Y'all, if you are somebody who is sitting there and you are comparing where people are at now, the very first thing I want to encourage you to do is stop the comparison game. Stop analyzing where they are in comparison to where you are, because you have no freaking clue where they've been. Okay, this is the same for anybody that you see that has had success. Like Michelle, you don't know her beginning. You don't know like where she was prior to this. Tim, you don't know where, like, you have no idea where somebody's confidence has come from. My confidence now has been like 6.5 years building from doing network marketing. Like, my confidence grew as I started to see, oh, there's people that are supporting me here. Like, I have people in my corner. You guys, you have 6,900 people in your corner that want to see you win. Who the F cares about what user 1234 is going to hop on your TikTok and say about you? They're not going to pay your bills. Okay. So that is the first thing I want to cover, is where you are, like, with that confidence, because don't freak out if you have zero confidence. It's going to grow with time, and the only way that it's going to grow is from you getting uncomfortable. And that's just the truth, because you are never going to feel ready to get uncomfortable. You're never going to feel ready to put yourself out there. Okay, but you know, the whole fake it till you make it, sometimes you have to do that in order to grow. And that's just honest truth of where I've been to where I am now. My confidence has grown with time. And with time, it doesn't mean people have stopped bullying me. Absolutely not. Every time I go live, I know Michelle has this too. Everybody has this. They'll have haters that are going to hop on. They're going to say something, but guess what? There's this beautiful thing called the mute button, the block button, that you can click and then they are gone. And you are still going to be showing up, because that is what it is required of you to make ends meet. Okay. So very first thing you guys got to know is that to build that confidence, you just have to show up. You have to do those things consistently. So the other thing I want you guys to know is, if you are someone who is sitting there, and this is going to be brutal. If you are somebody and you are sitting there and you're like, okay, Victoria, well, I'm showing up, I'm following the proven process, and I'm not getting sales, guess what? It's probably because you're mediocre. Ugh. Like, it's probably because your content is average. Do you slow your scroll for average? Do you stop and listen to somebody who's just saying, hey guys, I can show you how to work 2 hours a day and make 600 a day. Comment info for more. I wouldn't stop my scroll, because guess what? There's thousands of people on there saying the same dang thing. How are they connecting with you? How are they relating with you? Y'all, I'm like, when I create content and when I go live, I do it with the intent to get somebody to stop and listen to me. That is like the very first thing I want to come out of my mouth, is a sentence that is going to get them to stop their scroll. Especially when we're talking about TikTok, you have 2 seconds to capture their attention. If you are quiet, or if you are boring and you are mediocre, they're going to swipe right past you so fast, my friend. So this is why I talk about, and Michelle talks about, hooks, okay? And attention getter statements, being a little bolder and more exciting than you usually are. Hand motions are great. They are great, okay? Because it shows that you are more fiery about something, and think about ways that you can relate with somebody and capture their attention. For example, a great beginner statement would be, did you guys know 61% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck right now? Boom. Boom. What's going to happen? People are like, yeah, I fall in that category. What you got to say to me? Like what's she gonna talk about? Or if I say, you know, I used to be so sick and tired of being the mama that stayed home and didn't have time for my kids. You know what I mean? Like, or I wanted to take my kids to Disney last year and I couldn't afford to. Like things like that. You're gonna connect with, guess what? That's gonna connect with the mom who wants to take her kids to Disney. You know what I mean? So when you are thinking about your ideal customer, think about the things that they are struggling with because you have a solution for it. Don't just focus on selling. Don't just focus on, hey, do you want to work 2 hours? Hey, do you want to make 600 a day? Holy heck, it is burning hot in this car. Hang on. I didn't even notice. Like, I hyped it up to high. And if you guys don't know already, every time I go live, I get like I get so fired up that I literally get fired up and I start sweating. All right, hang on. Anyway, so I want to break down for y'all exactly what I have done to see the success, and a lot of it does stem to faking the confidence, and that's the truth. Faking the confidence when you don't feel confident, being excited and being passionate when maybe you are not somebody that is comfortable in front of a camera. Okay, I'm going to talk about these things. So what exactly do I do? Y'all, it's the proven process, okay? But what I do is, yes, we talk about faceless branding, we talk about faceless content, we talk about ads, and those are all great things. What I have found to be successful for me is creating content. That is the way that I have made everything that I have made. I've made 6 figures in 5 months. And why? It's because it is the easiest way to connect with people, because they are getting to know you. They are getting to know your story and they are putting a face to it. Okay. So what I do is I only spend 20 to 30 minutes a day creating content. This means on a day like this, where it's chaos in my house, I hop out to my car for a minute and I will record a video for a minute and then I go back in. All right. It's the nooks and crannies of your day, you guys. If you're somebody that is like, oh, well, I'm like going to make this excuse because my kids are too crazy today, that's your own excuse. I just gave you a solution. Or if you're like, well, Victoria, like, can I do this when I'm working the 9 to 5? Maybe you leave 5 minutes before your 9 to 5. Okay. And you record something in your car, you post it, and then you go to work. And then you record another video on your lunch break. You post it, and then you go back to work. And then you record a video in the evening. You post it. You go back to, like, you don't go back to work. You go to bed. You know what I mean? You find the time in the nooks and crannies of your day. All right. So that's the first thing I do. I spend 20 to 30 minutes a day creating content. The second thing I do is I commit to going live 4 to 5 times a week. When I tell y'all I commit, what I mean is even on the sick days, you guys, and this is technically still a sick day. I do not feel 100%. I threw makeup on my face and I threw a cute outfit on, but I'm not feeling 100%, but I'm committed. Okay. I'm committed. If you are not committed today and you are not committed tomorrow, it is going to be so much easier for you to let the entire month go, to let the whole week go. And you'll say, I'm going to take this week off. I'll start back tomorrow, or I'll start back the next week. I'll start back in February. I'll start back in 2025. You guys, it is so easy to take a day off and it spirals. All right. So I commit 4 to 5 times a week, 4 to 5 times. Okay. Going live. What I do when I go live, I want you guys to write this down, because there's so many people who freak out about lives because they're like, oh, I have no idea what to talk about. Here's what I talk about. First of all, when I turn the live button on, when I press live, I pretend I've got an audience already. All right. I'm like, I'm not waiting for somebody to hop on like I did 6.5 years ago. Nope. Because if I'm sitting there staring at a screen, awkward, sipping a drink, waiting for someone to hop on, people are going to scroll. They're just going to scroll. This girl, like, what's she doing? She's weird. Like, what's she doing? You know, I hop on and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys, you know what I do? I pretend to log into stuff. Okay. I'm like, hey guys, go ahead and say, hey, there's 0 people watching. Go ahead and say, hey, I'm just going to get everybody, or I'm just going to get everything all set up here. I'm just going to go ahead and get logged in. When you guys hop on, oh, there's one person, you know, I'll just be like, hey, I see you, so-and-so. I call them out by name. Okay. Also, like, hey, I see you, Michelle. You guys say, hey, let me know where you're watching from. Drop me a comment where you're watching from. If you are new, what I say is, if you're new, comment new. If you're an OG, say OG. It means original gangster, if you don't know that, for all you older folks. um, but if you're an OG, say OG. And I'm constantly telling them to make sure you hit the follow button and go to the link in my bio, because that's going to tell you everything I'm talking about. So if you are someone, you're like, oh, Victoria, like, I'm really struggling to get more followers, you're not telling people what to do. I constantly tell them, until it sounds like I've said it about 20,000 times. I'm like, you guys, make sure you're hitting the follow button. Make sure you go to the link in my bio, because that's going to tell you what I'm talking about. We're here to learn how to make big bucks, okay? You guys just hop on, tell me where you're watching from, and I get everything logged in. You guys, you may only get 5 people on immediately, but guess what? Those 5 people are going to want to hear what you have to say. And you better hype that ish up and talk to them like you have 500 people on there. Okay. So as soon as I start getting people on, I interact with them in a way where I am asking questions, because people are not prone to just engage with somebody. They're not. All right. And so I'm always trying to pull that engagement out. That's why I tell them, comment and let me know where you're watching from. Tell me if you're new or if you're an OG. Tell me, I tell them, I'm like, let's be real. I'm totally honest with you guys here. Tell me what you think of when you hear digital marketing. Do you think it's a scam? Because I thought it was a scam. I encourage that. I encourage the honesty, because I want to be able to relate with them. Okay. So think about the things that you thought of when you heard digital marketing. What went through your head? Tell them what went through your head, because it makes it easier for you to address the truth. Okay. And you want to be honest, you want to be relatable. And I feel like that is one of the number one reasons why I have seen so much success, because I don't sugarcoat things. I'm not going to lie to people about what this is. All right. I'm going to be honest with them about what it takes to be successful. So that's what I do as soon as I hop on, is I am constantly just like getting that engagement up. Okay. I tell them tap the screen, because that's going to let people know that we're here. Things like that. Make sure you follow, make sure you go to the link in my bio. Once I have a few people on, I ask the question, what do you guys think digital marketing is? And then I let them comment, and then I respond. And then the next thing that I do is I ask them, I'm like, okay, well, no, the next thing I do is I share my story. Okay, this is what I thought it was. This is where I have been. And this is why I chose digital marketing. Okay, this is what I thought it was. This is where I have been. And this is why I chose this. Okay. And then what I do is I ask them, do you want to hear the 2-hour workday first? Or do you want to see the course first? Okay. And the way that I explain the course is I relate it a lot to a college course, because, and I call it out right away when people are like, oh, she's selling something. Heck yeah, I'm selling something. Do you go to college for free? Like, is college free? You guys, I talk about this all the dang time. And I'm never gonna sugarcoat it. As soon as somebody hops on, oh, you gotta buy something. Oh, she's selling a course. Yeah. Like, when's the last time that, like, I threw away, I don't even know, thousands and thousands of dollars on a degree that I never even used? Where over here, I could buy a course one time and profit off of it over and over and over. And so as soon as somebody says that, I'm like, I explain it that way. And I'm like, what sounds better to you? You know, like, what sounds better? I personally, I'd rather pay 600 one time and profit over and over and over, you know? So that is what I do. And then I ask them, yeah, what do you want to see first, the course or the 2-hour workday? I ask them that because it encourages engagement. And you guys, when you encourage engagement on your lives, people are going to hop on, because TikTok is going to see, oh, people are commenting here. People are liking this live. I'm going to show it to more people. Okay. So you have to encourage engagement. And I, after I do that, so I start with one or the other. I start with the 2-hour workday, or I start with the digital course, whatever they want to see first. And then I go through it. And then what I do after that, I almost always close with the community, because I explain, this is why I chose this course. I spent 2 months doing research, okay? I know, and I tell them, I know there's other courses out there. And this is me being honest. I'm never going to be the person that sits here and tells you, hey, it's better over here. My course is for you, right? But what I am going to say is I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell you why I chose this one. Because other courses, they are going to teach you how to create a website, how to create email funnels, but it's not done for you. You know, it's not done for you. And then they are going to give you tools, but they're not going to tell you how to use the tools. They're not going to give you a process telling you do this day 1, this day 2, this day 3. And so I relate with them that way. And I say, I needed something broken down Barney style. Like, I don't need somebody to hold my hand. I did not have somebody mentor me with this. And you guys, if you are someone that is begging, oh, hang on. Are we good? Hang on. Okay, I was getting a call. Okay, woo! If you are someone that is sitting there waiting for somebody to come and hold your hand, guess what? You're never gonna make 6 figures, you guys, because I can tell you right now, anybody that has made 6 figures with this, they have a go-getter mentality, and they've said, I'm going to figure it out. Guess what? Our community, we have a search bar. Utilize the heck out of it. Anytime I have needed to figure something out, I go to that search bar. Okay. I'm like, oh, well, I don't know how to make a newsletter. Guess what? I went to the search bar and I typed newsletter, and it came up. Or if I'm like, oh, I don't know how to contact TikTok. Guess what? I type contact TikTok and it comes up. Oh, I need help with creating my payment links. Guess what? Search bar, payment links comes up. You guys, you will not make 6 figures with your hands being held. You just won't. Okay. So if you are like waiting and messaging, people, and I want to say this gently, because I know Michelle's like this too. Our inboxes are flooded. We have so many people in our inboxes, we can't respond to everybody. We can't. If we want to follow the 2-hour process that we are talking about, we cannot mentally, physically respond to every single person. Okay. Like, and I'm trying to be so kind about that, because I only have the mental capacity to respond to people that have gotten the course for me. And even that, I can only do so much, because the whole reason I got the course was to work 2 hours a day. You know what I mean? And so if I wanted to work more, like, you guys know where I'm going with this. Okay. Anyway, so that's what I do. So that's my 2-hour workday, all right? I create my content, and then I commit to going live 4 to 5 times a week. And then the third thing is I plug in. And I cannot exaggerate this enough. How many people expect that they can get a course and then people are just going to hand you $600? Y'all, it does not happen that way. It does not happen that way. You don't get a course and then money just rains into your lap. Because if I did that, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, when I did MLM, for 6.5 years, I had the post and pray mentality. What the post and pray mentality means, praise the Lord, my husband's home. Sorry. I messaged him, I'm like, I was like, Jared, I'm going live. The neighbor's coming over. Cody just woke up, like he's crying. Please help. And he's like, I'm on my way. Oh my gosh, he's about to leave for major schooling, and it's gonna be 5 months without him, and I'm like, I'm already stressing out. And of course, my children are running out the door. It's fine. It's fine. They just see him. Hang on a sec. We're good. What was I talking about? The post and pray mentality, right? Okay. So what I mean by that is just is just posting and praying that somebody's going to see your content. Okay. Whereas the training that we have in here is going to teach you how to market and gain customers. It's going to teach you how to make content that is going to convert into customers. So whereas if I did this, I talk about this on my lives all the time. My original TikTok is just my name. It's Victoria Romine. Okay. If you're following me there, that is not my business account. That's just my old TikTok account where I had 35,000 followers. It was a fun page. All right. When I started, I was initially posting over on Facebook, because that was my warm network. All right. And so that's where I made my first few sales, was over on Facebook before I came to TikTok. And I had people that said to me, oh, Victoria, the only reason that you're seeing success is because you had a network when you started it. I said, okay, bet. I'm going to take that as a challenge and I'm going to go over to TikTok. So I first started posting on that account. You guys, followers do not equal sales. Somebody say it in the comments, because I could like scream that followers don't equal sales. How many sales do you think that I made from a page that had 35,000 followers? I want y'all to comment this. How many sales do you guys think that I made? I will tell you my TikTok now in just a second. 35,000 followers. How many sales? I see y'all. 2, 0, 10, 100, 10,000. I see you guys. 0 sales. 35,000 followers, no sales. Why? Because I was posting to people that were not my target audience. I was posting and praying. Okay. I hadn't done the training. I hadn't looked in and figured out how to attract customers to me. So what did I do? I started a brand new account, and this is what I encourage everybody to do. Start at 0, because then you can follow the training to a T and learn how to attract people to you so that you are not posting and praying. Okay, so that you are learning in the training how to create content that converts. If you have not already watched my TikTok training that I did on this, it's so beneficial for you to watch. You guys, go to classroom, go to school, go to classroom, and then go to TikTok, and it's all right there. Okay, that's up to you to plug in. I don't need to give you guys the secrets over and over and over and over. Plug in. All right. But my new account is That Six Figure Mama Backup. And there are people scammers have started impersonating that account too. But I think it's got like 3,400 followers. That Six Figure Mama Backup. Backup is in caps. But that is what I do. I spend 20 to 30 minutes a day creating content. I go live consistently 4 to 5 times a week. And I plug into training. Okay, what I mean when I say I plug into training, if you're someone that's making excuses and you're like, oh, well, I don't have the time to watch training, guess what I do? All 3 of my boys are in therapy 5 days a week. Most of the time that I plug in the training is I will put training on in the car while I'm driving. I don't watch it in the car. I just listen while I'm driving in the car, or I listen in the carpool line, or I listen while I'm doing dishes or cooking dinner or something like that. Very rarely do I have time to get in front of a screen. But the truth, you guys, is that you are going to make time for the things that matter to you. You will prioritize the things that matter to you. And you need to ask yourself, does a 6-figure income matter to you? Because if it does, then you are going to start consistently doing the things to make it happen. So if you're sitting there and you're like, all right, Victoria, well, I'm creating my content, I'm going live, and I'm not getting the sales coming in, guess what? Then it circles back to the whole, you're mediocre. I'm sorry, you're mediocre. You need to analyze, how can I be above average? How can I get people to stop my scroll? Ask yourself, would you stop your scroll for you? Would you stop your scroll? Because in all honesty, I see tons of people in our community, like in my feed, that I scroll right past because you're not creating content that is engaging enough to get people to stop their scroll. And if you are what was I gonna say? If that is you, I would encourage you to go and watch the TikTok trainings, right? Because I talk about having captions above your head. You guys see how I like right now there's a like space above my head. This would be great for me to record a video, and then I've got space for captions. It's also a lighting factor, okay? If you're this close to the camera, it's not going to be a good look for you because there's no space for captions, and there's tons of people that need to read. For example, it would be me right now if I was upstairs rocking my baby. You know what I mean? If I'm scrolling TikTok, I need those captions to be able to see. And TikTok prefers it if you have captions above your head. The other thing that they've started saying, and Michelle, I don't know if you've heard this yet either, they are going to start pushing out more videos that are over 3 minutes long, 3 to 8 minute long videos. They are going to start pushing out more videos that are edited in TikTok versus CapCut. They don't want to encourage CapCut anymore. I forget, there's other things too. But the main thing I really want you guys to get from this is like getting people to stop your scroll. The other thing I want to tell y'all is, oh my gosh, this is so huge. So I want to rewind a little bit back to where I was sharing my story in the beginning when I first started with network marketing, okay? Because the number one reason why people will quit any business is when they don't see sales. And so if you have this idea of when your sales should come in, y'all, the question I hate the most is when did you get your first sale? Because if I tell you my first sale came on my 3rd day, guess what? People are going to get the course and they're going to think, oh, it's going to happen real fast for me too. And then when it doesn't happen, guess what? They're going to throw in the towel because they're expecting to see the results that fast. I did this when I first started network marketing. The girl that I signed under, when I was with Unique, okay? The girl that I signed under, who was if you guys know the statuses, she was Black status, which is the top of the company. And I asked her like how quickly she saw success. For her, it was very, very quick. It was the first couple of days. For me, it took me 42 days to sell my first mascara. And guess what? I didn't sell to a single friend or family. There wasn't a single one of them that bought from me. So I had to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to see success here? I need to do parties. I need to start recruiting. I need to do parties. I need to recruit. Parties, recruit. And it was that process, right? It was that cycle of doing these things to grow. And I knew, well, obviously people are making sales here. Obviously this works. So I need to figure out what I need to do to make it happen. Parties, recruit, parties, recruit. My content then was not great. Okay. Like I didn't know about lighting. I didn't know about like how to create good content, but I plugged in to the training I had there to learn and be consistent. I was so freaking consistent. That's how I made my first sale there in 42 days. It was from a girl in a party that I never met. All right. And I took a business from zero with no friends or family that bought from me. And I took it to the top 2% of that company. Okay. But I also want to talk to how that has related here because truth. And I know anybody that has made 6 figures in this business, they've had at least one day when they haven't had a sale. At least one. Okay. For me, I had a whole November, I had a 12-day streak of $0. 12-day streak. I ended November making 19 grand, but I had 12 days of 0. Do you think for a second that my mindset faltered because I had 12 days of 0? Y'all, I'm going to be real with y'all about this. My husband was like, well, that was a fun run. I guess it's over. I guess like no one else is going to buy. And I'm the kind of person that's like, no, people are watching. Consider this. How long did you watch before you purchased? Ask yourself that. Like I told you, I watched for 2 months, and most people are not impulse buyers. And that's the truth. Most people aren't. Comment below how long you guys watched before you purchased. If you're an impulse buyer, that's amazing. I'm an impulse shopper, but not when it comes to businesses. And so you have to think in that respect too, that when you are starting something, you are gaining a lot of watchers. Every follower that you get is going to be watching you. So if you throw in the towel after a week, like, what's going to happen? Those people that, needed to watch for 2 weeks, you've lost them. The people that needed to watch for 3 weeks, you've lost them. That's a sale you've lost. And guess what? Then they're going to see somebody else talking about it. They'll start watching them. And when they're consistent, they're going to go and buy from them because you gave up. You guys, you cannot throw in the towel too soon. So when I tell you I had 12 days of zero, my mindset was just like, okay, I'm still gaining followers. I'm still gaining leads. These are just watchers. They're just watchers. And then boom, at the end of November, 19 grand. So when your mindset starts to falter, that is when you need to dig deeper and plug in and ask yourself, what can you be doing different right now? What needs to change for you right now? And why is your mind going there? Why is your mind going there? Because if it is, people aren't going to buy from somebody whose mindset is faltering. And they're not going to buy from someone who is not consistent. They just won't, okay? Because when they see people that are showing up and they're going live and they're creating content every single day, this isn't like, I don't want y'all to think that we are competing with each other, because we're not. But at the same time, we kind of are in a way if you're not being consistent, because somebody that was watching you, when you stop, they're going to start watching somebody else. We're not competing in the way that we're like fighting for customers, if that makes sense. But people are going to start following the people that are consistent. I hope that came across the right way. Anyway, so I think that kind of covered the gist of everything. That was my story. That was what I did to make 6 figures. Consistency, I cannot stress enough. Being consistent, being coachable, plugging in, and your energy. You guys, your energy is going to sell. Stop their scroll. That's what you got to focus on. So, Michelle, was there anything else that I missed or that you wanted?
No, I mean, this was amazing. Thank you. Like, this is awesome. I think what we can just do now, like, you got about 10 minutes. Is that okay if we have people ask you some questions?
Yes.
Okay, you guys, this is just questions on how she made 6 figures. This isn't tech questions, or I'm not getting, you know what I mean? I'm not getting views questions, right? I think we've really covered all that. This is on this topic. Okay. Let's just stay on topics. Are you okay with doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Hang on. Can you?
Looks like Caitlin. We have Caitlin, then Erica, and then Christine. So Caitlin, you can go first.
Hi, Victoria. So I just want to find out, so I took notes on what you do on your lives, which was really, really helpful. So the reason I'm asking this question is because I still work my 9 to 5, so I wasn't able to go live as consistently as I was now while I was on leave. And going live every day while I was on leave, now I kind of ran out of things to say. So do you say the same thing in your lives every day, or do you have new things every time?
That is a great question. So, yes, I say the same things. I go through the same process. Okay. So I gather engagement right off the bat. I ask them if they want to see the course first or the 2-hour workday, and I show the community. Those are the main things I want to focus on. When I say I show the community, I show the classroom, right? I show them like the step-by-step videos that we have. And I always try to show the wins and shout outs, because I always emphasize that my story is my story, but I want them to see other people winning too. So I try to go through that process every time. And there's always going to be people, almost always on my lives, at least, there's people that will ask questions. If you don't have people asking questions at first, that is okay. I had that in the beginning too, where you have to like grow that following, grow that interest, and people will start asking you questions over time. The more that you have that engagement. But yes, until you get to that point, I just go through that process.
Okay, thanks. Because, yeah, sometimes I have great engagement, and then other times I'll ask questions and it's just like crick crick moments. And then I just have to like carry on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Erica?
Hey, Victoria, I love your energy so much. I so appreciate your training. And I went through your TikTok training a couple of times, and I've done all the things that you've said, but I'm just curious because you gave us that training. What do you do to improve your own videos? Because we can learn from you, but I'm just curious. I'm trying to analyze my videos now really and really look at them, but I don't really know what I'm missing. So I don't know what's your process of analyzing your own videos?
Um, that's a really great question because I don't really think I like analyzing them before I upload them. Is that what you mean?
No, just analyzing to figure out what you're doing, how you could be better.
I don't really think that I have like analyzed that. And I mean, perhaps I could. I do think so there's a few people that I've started following that, they talk about like the things that TikTok likes, the things that TikTok I've just seen people on TikTok that are talking about things. So that's how I found like the whole 3 to 8 minute long video. And that's going to be something that I start focusing on is longer videos. That's how I found the whole captions thing above like here, how I found, the different fonts that they do. I haven't plugged into anything else as far as like additional training outside of the community though, if that's what you mean.
That is good. I was wondering if you had. So thanks for answering that. I'm just plugging away.
Yeah, you're good.
Thank you.
Okay, Christine?
Oh, Victoria, you are such a good example for me. My question is, I hope that this is appropriate, but I noticed when you were showing and you were on your live that you were doing and you were crying like crazy. And it just, and then you were showing the total of sales you had on Stripe and the total of sales you had on
PayPal.
PayPal, yeah. Now, do you run both Stripe and PayPal?
Yes, I
So
do.
do you have those buttons both hooked up in your website?
Yes. So on my website, I have a gold button for PayPal, and a blue button for Stripe. I kind of wish I would have just done Stripe just because I get asked a lot like what the difference is, and so I feel like it would be a lot easier to just track everything in one place. But yeah.
Okay, so now my next part to that question to that part. So is there a limit to how much money you can download each day from each of those platforms?
What do you mean like download? Like earn?
Yeah, no. So say you earn 100,000 on Stripe and 60,000 on PayPal. Can you download the whole 100,000 from Stripe to your bank account at one time, or do you have to do it in lots of 3,000 or 5,000, or how do you have to break it down into smaller amounts?
That I don't know because I haven't made like 100,000 in a day.
Well, I'm
So
just
I
using that
can
as an example. So you
I
had like
can
40
help
some,
answer that if you would like me to, Christine.
Yeah.
that would be great.
So, like with my PayPal, I have automatic transfers set up to my checking.
Okay.
So automatically every evening it transfers whatever is available to my account.
Okay.
If you don't want to do it that way, you can just transfer it to whatever you want, whatever account you want yourself.
Okay. I have
Yeah.
my Stripe set up like that so that it automatically downloads. I don't even have to do anything. It's already set up to go into my account,
Yeah.
but I didn't know you could do that with PayPal.
Yes, I have automatic transfers. So every day, like at 2 a.m., it transfers whatever's in my main account, in PayPal,
Mhm.
just transfers right to my specified accounts. Yeah.
Okay, so further to my question, another part to the same question with the PayPal and Stripe, I hear everybody saying you get dings when people buy from you. Is that a message that comes up from PayPal and from Stripe? Because I never get a message from Stripe. They just automatically deposit the money, and I don't know. And the same with PayPal. I don't get any messages when anybody purchases, or when I get an email saying you have so much money deposited from such and such a source, but
So
I don't get a ding.
yes. So I was actually in the exact same position until 2 weeks ago. I never got a ding. I was constantly having to just refresh and check, and I never even got emails. And it was a setting in the app that I had not checked. So you just need to go to your app and look at your settings and make sure notifications are on, because my notifications
Okay,
are not on.
notifications on.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, looks like Alice is next.
Hi, Victoria. How can we sign up, number one, for your training? And number two, can you just repeat again the name of your TikTok channel?
Yes. So my TikTok channel is That Six Figure Mama, MAMA, backup. Backup is all caps. And just make sure that there's like, I think 2 or 3 other people impersonating me there now. But it's the one that has like, I think 3,500 followers, something like that.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
that one, my original account was banned, and so this is my new one.
Okay.
As far
And,
as my
and how do we sign up for your training? That's my next question.
so this is my training. What do you mean?
Okay. But somebody else was just saying, oh, they had learned so much from your training.
Oh, like my TikTok training. So that was so if you go in school and go to classroom and click the TikTok module, that's my TikTok training there.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Okay, Tracy, you're next.
Can you hear
there
me?
you go.
Okay. Look over my voice. I'm homesick. So, anyway, my question is, how did you decide that TikTok was going to be your platform? What made you choose that over your Facebook or YouTube or whatever? What made you choose the TikTok way?
Yeah, great question. So TikTok is the most organic reach. So this is untouched pretty much on Facebook and IG. And I went with what I was the most comfortable with. I already kind of knew how to create content on TikTok because of my fun videos I had been doing. I didn't know how to market. I didn't know how to find trending sounds or find trending hashtags. And so I learned all of that in the trainings. But I knew that with Facebook, you can only reach so many people, right? And with Facebook, a lot of your success is determined by if people will share your content, if they like, and getting people to share. And even then, TikTok doesn't boost shares, right? So if you go and look at your Facebook or somebody else's Facebook, go and look at the interaction that you have on shared posts. You may get one person that likes something that's shared, but most of the time Facebook prioritizes original content. And so even that, like so on Facebook, I've started doing public reels, public stories, and I will only do, I use my own personal Facebook. I make public posts about digital marketing, but I do almost everything on TikTok because it is the most organic reach. I can make a post and it can reach 200 people or it could reach 10,000 people. And these are all people that don't know me. And I chose TikTok to to just try to grow quicker. And I don't want to say I'm closed-minded, but I know Michelle is like amazing with having all of these different channels. She's got like YouTube and everything going, and like the ads and Pinterest. And I have not even like started branching out there because I get so squirrel brain, and I'm very just one track mind. And so when I find something that works, I'm like, this is home, this is where I'm at. So that's what works for me.
Well, I just joined on the 27th. I'm still waiting on my website to come. How long? Everybody keeps saying, oh, don't expect something right away because it takes time. What is a good expectation of time?
So, and that's the thing, like, we can't really, it varies for everybody. Like, there's people that have, as far as income goes, is that what you mean?
Yeah, like as far as getting sales or getting someone to notice your video or what you're doing in there, what is a good expectation of time? Like if I go a month and nothing has happened, is it that I'm doing something wrong? Or is it just hasn't made it there?
It could be, but it could also be like your reach. And so that's why I encourage everybody to watch that TikTok training, because there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, like as far as commenting, interacting with people, finding the right hashtags, finding trending sounds. So you need to make sure that you have all of that correct, and you need to make sure that you're being consistent and good lighting and all of these things, right? But we can never guarantee like, or even give an estimate for it's going to happen for you on day 2. If you were to go and open your own store or your own business, I can't tell you when your first customer is coming. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even if you have the most beautiful display of all the goods or whatever, there's still no way of telling you when. But I will tell you that the only way that you fail is by giving up.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, Ashley.
Hi. So my question is about your TikTok live. And when you're doing your TikTok live, do you go live at the same time? How long do you stay live? Is it like an hour, or does it just vary? And then when you talk about the course, what do you show them? Do you show them the IPS like teal bubbles and what's taught there? Do you show them school? Do you show them both of them? Like, what does that look like?
You look so cute today, by the way. Hey, Ashley.
Thank you.
Great questions. So oh my gosh, sorry, what was the first question? I just went.
Do you go live at the same time?
Yes.
For how long? And then what does the course
Yes.
look like?
Yes. Okay. So first thing, same time. I am almost always live at the same time, just because I have found what works for me. It's just what works for me with my kids' schedule. And so I almost always do it during nap time. So it's usually like this time. I'm just not going live today because I'm doing the training. But so yes to that. And I have also found that people tend to know when I'm going to be on. So I do think that kind of consistency is good if you can do that. As far as how long I stay live, I'm typically live for about an hour. The reason that I like to stay live that long is because you're constantly going to have people coming in and out. And so you'll have people that hop on, 30 minutes in saying, what is this? What are you selling? And so then I kind of, if I've already gone through the process, I'll kind of repeat bits and pieces of it, and then as far as what I show, yes, I show the actual IPS website. And I go over the whole admin website fee. I communicate that right away. Just because I always want to be transparent and upfront with people right away, so that they can't be like, oh, well, like she's not telling you got to pay for this, blah, 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 and so I always tell them that right away. I show them all of, the green bubbles on IPS. And then I show them the community in school. So.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Brian.
Hey V, how you doing?
Brian, what's up?
Oh, not much. Hey, first of all, I don't think I've ever told you this, but I want to thank you and your husband for his service, and you for being a military wife. That's fantastic from both of you. Thank you. So Tracy had asked the question I was going to ask. So I'm going to kind of revamp what I was going to ask, but basically, like, what platforms are you on? I see you on Facebook. I see you on TikTok. I don't think I see you on Instagram, but you pretty much answered that before. So let me revamp the question then. Do you do DMs, and do you do it on both platforms? I see you shaking your head already.
So this is great. I'm really glad that you asked this because so first of all, with IG, I have an Instagram account. I am so not tech savvy when it comes to, and I don't like to get uncomfortable just as much as the next person, you know? And IG, like Instagram is just, it's uncomfortable for me because I've always just been used to Facebook. So I have my Instagram connected to my stories. And so whenever I post my stories in Facebook, it does connect to Instagram. The same with Reels. But I kind of hate that because then when I get a notification, oh, I have like a message on Instagram, it throws me off because then I'll forget that somebody messaged on Instagram like 5 days ago. But I still to this day have not made a sale off of Instagram. So as far as doing DMs, so I have never, ever, ever cold messaged a single person. However, and I stress that so much because it's not needed, because I did that for so long and I love that I don't need to do that. You really, really don't. Sometimes though, and this is super rare, but sometimes like if I have a minute when I hop off my live, you know how you can go and see people that viewed your live, or there's a way to see the people that viewed it the longest, right? So if I see, oh, there's somebody on there that watched for 45 minutes or somebody on there that watched for an hour, I will follow them back. And then sometimes, not every time, sometimes I'll just message them and just say, hey, thanks for hopping on. That's it. That's it. And I do this rarely, and you don't need to. You really don't need to. It's just something that I do. If I have been recently talking to someone like on Facebook about it, and if I'm about to go live, I'll just tell them, yeah, I'm about to go live over on TikTok if you want to hop on. But I have stressed so much that I have built that organically, like, and so most of my people on Facebook are not following me on TikTok. So most of them don't even know about that account, but I'll tell them like, hey, I'm about to do a live here if you want to hop on. And I only do that if they've been curious or asking about it. So, but yeah, I never cold message. And especially I stress it on TikTok that I never, ever, ever cold message, because that's what the scammers do. The scammers, like people that are impersonating us, they will DM people and then they'll try to get you to talk to them in Telegram or WhatsApp and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I see WhatsApp and Telegram, I know it's not you at that point. So
yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so it's been an hour. I know I respect your time. Do you want to answer more questions, or do you need to get off here? Because I know you're sitting in a car, so I totally
I'm
respect
good. My husband's home and it's quiet here, so.
Okay, well then, Michelle.
Awesome job, Victoria, by the way. You're a rock star.
Oh,
but I have a couple of questions. One is when you mentioned about TikTok pushing out longer videos, I watch my analytics. I'm very, very consistent. Watch my analytics, and the longer my videos are, the worse they are for me. And actually, my analytics are telling me that they don't want to hear me talk. Like when I do ones that are like from CapCut or from me being in the video but not talking, they do better. I'm like, maybe I need to change my voice somehow or something. But I'm watching that very closely. So number one, do you have any, like, for the longer videos, like any tips for, I'm just trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure things out like every day to make my videos better, to reach more families. So anything on that end of things that you could provide would be fantastic.
Yeah, so it could be your content. It could be like what you're talking about, could be energy, could be a lot of those things. Have you watched my TikTok training yet?
Yep.
Okay. So it could be a lot of those things. And then as far as like speaking in a way where you can make a sentence and then you don't need to pause the screen, but get everything out and then make sure you edit it so it does it in blurbs. And it could be that like your pitch is too salesy, and that's, I mean, I focus so much on just sharing and relating with people instead of trying to sell a course. I mean, I focus a lot on just being authentic and real and raw and vulnerable. And that's why, like, I cried on a live, like, you know, and it's just focus on being yourself. And you may just want to revisit that TikTok training too.
Okay. And I'll go back and I'll relook at that again. And the other thing is, what is the difference between posting on TikTok on like the regular newsfeed or doing like the reels, the stories? I mean, is there a difference of who it reaches?
So reels and stories on Facebook, you can make public. And so typically this is interesting because when you make them public, it will typically reach friends of your friends. So if, for example, say I have a friend, Sally, who interacted or who saw my story, then Sally's friends will also see my story. The same with the reels. Whereas TikTok, it can just reach anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would recommend doing that, all doing different videos and sending them out to all those different places?
Yes, I create all my content on TikTok and then I just post my TikToks in my stories and my reels. And I
Okay.
don't even do reels that often. I maybe do reels like once a week.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, Kim.
Hi guys. Hey, I wanted to ask, how do you address the people that come back at you saying that this is a scam and saying that you are just like reselling the course, I guess? Like, yes, we're teaching you how to do digital marketing and use the different social media platforms, but like, how are you addressing the people that are saying that this is like scammy and it's just like a wheel? That's what I'm like, I'm running into people asking me this, and I want to come off the right way.
I love those questions. And a lot of people will just tell you to block them. I love those questions because it gives me the opportunity to make a video reply. And I almost always will do a video reply because I like to call them out on how it's not. And I'm real with them about how, like, and I do it kindly. Okay. So I'm like, so for example, if someone said, oh, sounds like a scam, I'll do a video reply and I'll just say, so-and-so said sounds like a scam. And I completely understand because I was that person that said the same thing. Like 5 months ago, I called it a scam. I called it a pyramid. I called it an MLM. And the truth was that I really didn't understand what it was. And so I researched for 2 months, and I would encourage you to do your research to figure out what an MLM or a pyramid actually is. Because for an MLM, like, or for a pyramid, you need to actually have a pyramid where there is one person at the top of the company making bank off of all of the people below them, right? That is a multi-level marketing. That is a pyramid scheme. A scam is somebody who will take your money and you don't get a product. But with this, it is essentially a college course in the same way that you pay for college and you get an education. This way you are paying for a course and you are getting an education on how to market anything, this course or any business or any product. And so people are paying to learn the skills to market in the same way that they're paying to learn how to learn algebra or English when they go to college. So that's just the way that I typically address things. I will always call it out. If they continue, and most of them most of them stop replying because I'm just they know I don't sugarcoat. I'm not going to BS. I'm just like straight to the point, and they just stop replying. If they continue replying, that is when I block. But I like to be able to address it. That's just me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Tammy.
think I'm there. Oops, sorry. Hi. My question is for Victoria on the TikTok lives. So I can go live now, but when I get nervous, like my mind goes blank. So what do you do in a situation like that? Like, do you have like I know you've said the things that you talk about, but do you keep like a script in front of you? You probably don't now because you've been doing it for a while.
So I don't. And I have so many times where like I go very much squirrel brain, and I'm just real with them about that. Like I'm so honest with them on my live. I'll be like, I don't even know what I was talking about. Somebody tell me what I was talking about. And sometimes I'll comment and they'll be like, we're talking about this. Other times people don't say anything, and then I'll just kind of go, okay, so let's talk about the 2-hour workday, and I'll just hop into something else. So, or, you know, like if you've gone through everything, I'll just go back to square one because there's always going to be new people hopping on. So yeah, but yeah, I have that happen to me all the time.
Okay. Thank you.
But if it helps, yeah, you could totally write it down.
Well, I don't want it to look like I'm like talking from a paper or index cards or something, but I know myself, if I get nervous, like everything that I've learned over the past few months will just disappear.
Yeah, I get it.
Thanks.
Muted. Michelle, you muted.
I'm muted?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh,
Michelle
no, I was
Bozer.
muted. Sorry, I was saying something. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Michelle Bozer is
Tammy,
next.
what I was saying real quick, that I'll let Dr. Michael talk. But when I go live and forget what I'm saying, I literally say that. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, what was I saying? I can't believe I forgot. And the comments will like blow up. I'm like, please tell me what I was saying. And that gets the group to engage more. If you guys have been on my live, now you heard me say that many times, like, where was I? So you're trying to be too perfect. Just be you. Just be you. And if you're like nervous, tell them. If you're flustered, tell them. If you're all over the place, tell them. Because that shows people that you're real. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. People do business with real people, not perfect. Nobody's looking for perfect. People's looking for real. So get out of your head, get in your heart, my friend. Okay, Dr. Michael, let you take.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the time. I have 2 questions. I see we have a lot of business partners all over the world, and I'm just going to zero into Africa this time. Can anyone share with me what payment link has worked best for those outside the USA? I know PayPal is not available in some countries, but I see Africa, I see South Africa, I see Botswana. So I wanted to see if anyone can share. And I hear some people use Skrill, I think. So what has worked in those areas for anyone who's got partners there? Because I see South Africa in some of the people that came in at the last call, so they had to be signed up by someone.
A lot of people are saying Paystack.
Paystack, thank you.
Payoneer is what I'm seeing in the comments.
Payoneer,
I mean, we
Paystack.
probably have over 2,000 people in our community from South Africa, and PayPal is what they use. So, and then the ones that have problem with PayPal, they're going to that Payoneer, but literally
Payoneer.
PayPal.
Very
Yeah.
good. Okay. Because I have Payoneer, the things I do that, I just wanted to make sure. So thank you for
Absolutely.
confirming.
That one works great. Yeah.
Very important. And the next
Can
question is,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
the next question is, has anyone allowed TikTok to have access to their contacts? Remember, the training says we have to start a new TikTok and then make sure that we follow the steps to make sure we zero in on our perfect customers. But then most of the people in your contacts may not be. So do you allow TikTok to access your contacts, or you block that so you
Yeah.
don't have, yes,
Yeah,
Victoria?
I absolutely do not recommend it because your contacts are likely not your ideal customer. And so
Right.
if you are automatically uploading your contacts there, then you're going to be communicating with the TikTok algorithm, hey, these are the people that like are my target audience, when they're really not. So I recommend not uploading contacts at all.
Cool. I have one. Thank you very much. Once again, I'm so glad. Okay. Thank you.
You're
God bless.
welcome. I do want to address something that I was seeing in the comments real quick, because a lot of people are talking about MLM, pyramid scheme, Ponzi scheme, all of that. And so just to address that really fast, because MLM stands for multi-level marketing. Okay. And so technically, yes, it does fall under the pyramid category. I will never, ever, ever be the person to hate on MLM, because I absolutely think it is a brilliant business model for companies. It is a brilliant business model. However, for me, it did not work for me because I wanted to make more, right? I wanted to work less and make more. A Ponzi scheme is where you are trading money and there's no product. Okay. So with this, you are getting a digital product. People are getting a digital course. So it's not a Ponzi scheme, because it would be the same as saying, oh, you're going to college and that's a Ponzi scheme. Well, no, it's not. You're getting an education, right? But I just wanted to kind of address that. So were there other questions?
Yes, we have Amy next. Can
Okay.
you let me know when
Hi,
you're ready?
guys.
'Cause they keep on adding more questions, so we can end at any time because we're
Okay.
way over time. So
Yeah.
Probably two more.
okay, we'll do two more. Sounds good.
Victoria, thank you for extending your time and answering all these awesome questions. I've actually had a couple of the questions I was going to ask have already been answered. So, but you know, your guys' inspiration, I'm one that I'm always behind the scenes. I'm quiet. I don't have the bubbly energy like everybody else does. And so I'm trying to follow people that have more energy to where I can, you know, portray or get out my energy through my videos. One thing that I do have and is some of you guys already know, I got hurt on the job 7 years ago, and I've got some issues with discs in my neck and, you know, neurological issues and memory issues. And I don't know if there's anybody out there that when you guys are trying to do your videos and you've got the energy and you're trying to get out what you're trying to say, do you guys ever like stutter or lose, you know, can't think of the words you're trying to say? And how do you get past that? Because
Okay, so on a video or on a live?
I can't go live because I don't have enough followers right now. So right now it's just my videos and I'm trying to be myself. So I'm not trying to make them perfect.
So
But when
the beautiful thing with like creating content is the editing feature. And so in my TikTok training, I went over all of like how to edit things out, because I cannot even tell you. So first of all, always make sure that you are recording 10-minute long videos, because it gives room for error. And then when you go and edit, like I cannot even tell you how many times like I'll say something and then I didn't like how that came out, or I said too much, and so then I will just go in and edit, like delete that clip. Okay, so it will still kind of flow together, and then that clip is deleted, and then it just flows together. And honestly, TikTok prefers that when things are just quick. All right, so when you're not talking so slow, but when you merge things together. So definitely editing videos is going to help you. I also want to talk about like the energy factor that you just mentioned, because I think that that's the best way that I've related with people here. When I go live or when I'm recording content, I always try to think that I'm not talking to an audience. I'm talking to my best friend, my mom, my sister, my whoever. and I am excited about sharing something with them. So think about the way that you would call your mom or your best friend or someone, and you would tell them, oh my gosh, I just tried this new Starbucks drink and it was the best thing ever. You need to go and try the sugar cookie latte. It was so good. You see how like I'm sharing something that I did, but I was also kind of selling them on that. So in that way, like being excited, just thinking that you're talking to somebody like that instead of trying to sell someone on a course. You're sharing what you found and what is exciting to you. So when you start recording content like that, your energy is going to shift and it's going to change. When think about like the last restaurant you went to go eat at, oh my gosh, the steak there was amazing. Like, I just have to tell you about it. Think about talking that way.
Okay, because I know sometimes when I'm trying to get when my energy goes up, I know that, like, again, I'm struggling to find the words. I'm so excited, but I'm trying to find the words to say, and it just it comes out so horribly.
You're okay.
But I'm also trying to be myself on top of it too.
Right. I saw someone in the comments too that said stop, go, and then edit. Don't do that, you guys. Don't do that. Record it all at once and then edit and take out the pauses, take out the clips, because TikTok prefers that. Whereas if I record a sentence and then I pause it and then I go and record and then I pause it and I record and pause it, TikTok doesn't like that. They like when you record it all together, where it's one clip and then you go back and edit.
Okay. Great. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
All right, looks like Celine was next.
Yay. Hey guys, thank you for everything. I just joined and I'm waiting to get my website back as well. But my question would be, I hear a lot of people always saying they're getting banned. Is there anything in, like, maybe a couple things that you could say that not to do to get banned, or does it, you just get banned and you don't really know why? Or what would be your advice on that?
So a lot of times that people get banned, some people are reporting videos, but from my experience, I have learned TikTok does not want you to send people other places. So they don't like if you say Facebook, they don't like if you say Instagram, they don't like if you say link in your video, they don't like that. I say it when I'm live. I'll say hit the follow button, go to the link in my bio. I haven't had an issue with that, but they don't like it when you say it in a video. I had a video taken down that said webinar on it, which was really weird because I've made several videos talking about webinars. They don't like when you talk about payments. So anytime I say payment or payment plan or PayPal or Stripe, things like that. So just think of things that direct people different places, and things that talk about purchasing something, words that talk about purchase, buy, join. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brian said he heard me spell out pay. I do. I spell out PAY all the time. I will spell out website FEE, just things like that to try to avoid getting banned again.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Victoria, and congratulations on doing so awesome with TikTok. That's great.
Thank you.
Okay, looks like Jeffrey was next.
I think she already got me.
Okay, then Nicholas was next.
Hey, Victoria, thank you, and thank Michelle for doing this. It was absolutely amazing. I've been taking notes this entire time, so thank you so much for that. I wanted to ask you, and I'm more cerebral with it, so I wanted to ask if you were to go back to the Victoria from 5.5 months ago, what would you tell her to get to not to convince her, but what would you say to her to get her to make the same decision that you made 5.5 months ago, standing here today?
Why did you gotta do this to me? Oh
Because
God.
you made you hit 100K. You're standing in what you saw 5 months ago. So that's why I had to do it.
Oh Lord. So it's funny because the Victoria 5.5 months ago went into this hoping to make $1,000 a month to replace my boutique income. And I was the person that doubted and genuinely doubted the legitimacy of this. And I truly don't think that anything can really convince you besides one, being in the community and seeing it happen for other people. And so that's why I share other testimonies all the time. I share reviews all the time. Because people need to see that it is happening for tons of people. Oh my gosh. That's such a hard question. I don't really know like what I think I would just kind of slap myself silly for, I guess, doubting my potential, because I was that person that saw other people making bank and I did not have that confidence and I wasn't sure that I could do it. And I feel like that's how so many people are, because they don't think that they can do it and they see other people doing it. So I would tell her to stop comparing. I would tell her to get out of her own way, because I was my biggest obstacle. I really was. I was the only person that was doubting me. When in truth, I've always had that go-getter mentality and I've always had that drive to accomplish things. But in the back of my head, I always knew I've always been restless too. I've jumped from job to job to job to job. And I never really knew what I was looking for, but I know I was looking for success in something. And I wanted so badly to find a way to stay home with my babies and make a really good income, but I never thought it was possible. And so I would just, I don't know, I would hold my face and shake myself silly and tell myself to like stop doubting. Is probably, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I know it's not an easy question to answer, but I asked it twofold because I'm curious about what you would say, and two, for everyone listening, because in a lot of ways, we're all still in that space. Like, can we do what you did? And literally, that's a way for us to see, how we can communicate that very same thing to other
Yeah.
people who are like us, because we are our perfect customer, right? That's how we got in. So that's why I asked that question.
And that's so true. I think it's so easy. It's so easy for us. Like when you look at what society says is perfection, right? And I think that we are always going to be our own worst critics. I've seen so many people, I mean, even when I was doing my MLM, I was like, there's no way I can be successful here, because the people that are successful, in the beauty industry, they know how to do makeup. I didn't know how to do makeup. Like they were comfortable going live. I wasn't comfortable going live. They were these bombshells that were just stunning. And I was comparing myself to that. You guys, like, it's so easy for us to think, oh, well, people that are successful, they are like young and beautiful and just, outgoing and bubbly. And those are the people that make it. No, the people that make it just have the vision. The people that make it just tell themselves that they can. And that's it. Like, you just have to tell yourself that you can. Doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter if you're young, old, like whatever. It doesn't matter. You can do it when you say that you can do it and you stop comparing yourself to somebody else.
Oh, that was powerful. So I want you to answer one question because this is a really powerful question in the comments and we can end it at that. They said, if you could give any person advice to drive their first sale, what would you say to them? What would be that advice?
I would tell them to stop focusing on the sale, on the sale. Because if you are out there searching for the sale to come, then you are in the sale mentality instead of the share mentality. And you guys, you will not connect with anybody when you are in the sale mentality. And that's the honest to God truth. Because the reason I've seen success is because I connect with people. I'm not selling them on something. I'm not out there trying to make a sale. I'm being authentic. I'm being honest. I'm sharing what I have found. And that is how sales have just come in, because people tell me all the time they can relate with me. They like my transparency, and they feel comfortable with me. That is what you need to focus on: the transparency, the connectivity, and just being open and being you. Stop trying to find somebody to sell to. Learn to attract people to who you are. Yeah.
Wow. That's exactly what I would have said too. So powerful.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And it's so true.
So true.
Yeah. Because you guys, if you act like you need to sell, you're going to come across that way. You come across needy, and nobody
People
wants to
don't
do
like
business with
that.
needy.
And it's so funny how many people are like, oh, you're such a good salesperson. And I'm like, I'm just being me. I'm sharing what I found. You know, I'm not selling anybody on anything. I'm sharing with them who I am and what I have found and the success that I've seen from it and the success that other people are seeing from it. That's it. That's it.
So powerful. Well, thank you so much for this. It was amazing. Gosh, I think at one time I saw we had 410 people on.
Wow.
Yes. So you had the crew show up today. That was awesome. But I do thank you so much. And I know you had a lot going on before you got on here, and I just appreciate you so much, and congratulations. And I'm excited to see what happens to you in 2024. So awesome. Thanks everybody for
Thank you everyone.
getting
Thank
on.
you.
Thanks everybody.
you
Have a
so
great
much.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Appreciate it. It was great.
Thanks,
Thank
both
you.
Michelle and